Hello and welcome back to Green-HillGaming, where I share my passion of video games with the whole wide world. As you may know, my YouTube channel will be switching between two games. This game right here, Mortal Kombat 11 and Streets of Rage 4. And of course, in this live stream, I am playing Mortal Kombat 11. So, as always, sit back, relax, stay safe.
Mortal Kombat Legends.
More importantly, enjoy the live stream. Mortal Kombat Legends. Yeah, this has popped up there on the screen. Aiden Denston, a big welcome to Green-HillGaming to you. Welcome to my Mortal Kombat 11 live stream. How are you keeping, Aiden? Mortal Kombat Legends, which I have yet to get round to watch. Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge. On the movie now on digital. Also now available on 4K Blu-ray. I am good. Thank you, Aiden. How are you keeping? I am going to get stuck into the fantastic story of Mortal Kombat 11 in just
I'm okay and I need to see the movie still.
Same here, man. Same here. Still haven't gotten around to watching the movie. I'm going to buy it off YouTube Movies. I'm going to buy it and watch it tomorrow. 100%. Plus, oh, and look at this. Look at this. Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. The reason why I have returned to Mortal Kombat 11, particularly the story of Mortal Kombat 11, to hype myself up for the upcoming release of Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. The
view trailer.
Oh yes, will it let me? Wait now, let me play my live stream so I can see if it actually allows me to. But I'll tell you what, before I play the trailer, just I'm gonna read the description of the Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath DLC. Experience Mortal Kombat's first ever major expansion. Aftermath features a brand new cinematic story centered around trust and deceit. Fire God Liu Kang, the new Keeper of Time and protector of Earthrealm, looks to secure the future he envisions. In order to do so, he is forced to enlist the help of some unlikely allies and familiar foes. Players will have to decide who they can trust and who they must defeat, with the fate on the line. Forge a new history. I like that part. Players will have to decide who they can trust and who they must defeat. That's interesting. Does that mean that Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath will introduce decision making into its story? That's interesting. Very interesting. And I will definitely view that trailer in just a second. So it includes all new cinematic story mode, 3 new playable fighters, including Fujin, Shiva, I don't know why you call it Shiva, and Robocop, of all people. Now we will review that trailer, if it allows me to. Oh, you can't see it. It brings you to the web browser on your PS4. Sorry about that. I was thinking that. So yeah, to say that Green-HillGaming is hyped for the upcoming release, I know, of Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath is an understatement of the century. And as I said, this is the reason why I decided to go back to the story of Mortal Kombat 11 from scratch and live stream it. So, speaking of which, time to continue with the story.
Chapter 7.
So I'm currently... Chapter 7. I was on Chapter 7 months ago, but decided to go back and start from scratch, so I'm actually on Chesant Johnny Cage.
I'm the star.
Nutcracker. Hold on a second.
An old man just kicked your ass.
I thought I wasn't live there for a second.
Got lucky.
Cage is God.
You left me behind?
Excuse me?
My final mission.
How did you... Shit. No, I'm not doing this. Not now. Not with you.
Damn it, Cassie! You abandoned me?
To save the company! That was my order!
Who the hell gave you that order?
You did. Read the full report, Lieutenant. Go to condition red!
We're under attack! Repeat, we're under attack!
Yippee-ki-yay, right?
Damn Cassie.
Follow my lead.
No, yeah. Comes Aaron Black. And Black Dragon and Cyberlin Quay. So it's a full assault on Earth Realm's forces here.
Aaron Black looks like if Indiana Jones was into guns.
I know, yeah. True, actually.
Oh, that's freaky like Friday. They shot our face, Johnny. They shot our face.
So naturally, if past Johnny Cage gets hurt, then well, not so much hurt, but if he gets a scar on his face, then obviously present Johnny Cage gets a scar on his face. And it's an interesting fact that Kano forgets
I was saying
later in the story.
Now why is a nice Texas boy like Aaron Black in bed with the Black Dragon? Older you works for Kotal Khan. He's one of the good guys, kinda.
When I pick sides, I pick a winner. Every time.
What he means is he picks the highest bidder every time. I mean the highest price every time, because Aaron Black is a he's a mercenary, isn't he? He's a hired gun, basically. It is a mercenary. Sorry. It's a mercenary. Gotta say, absolutely. I've been saying this for a long time now, but I will continue to say it. Really love what NetherRealm Studios, Ed Boon, co-creator of Mortal Kombat, and his team, and Warner Brothers, have done with Mortal Kombat 11. Absolutely fantastic. Just in the way that they completely evolved the series. And evolve is the main word. And how do you do to my third viewer? Welcome to Green-HillGaming. As you may know, my YouTube channel will now be switching between two games. This game right here, Mortal Kombat 11, and Streets of Rage 4. And of course, in this live stream, I'm playing
Cage was really cocky in MK9, and when he is compared to MK11 Cage, he is way different. MK11 Cage actually cares about someone other than.
Yeah, you're spot on, man. He became a lot more mature. Which is why it's interesting when past Johnny Cage and present Johnny Cage comes together. So, like, when I say evolved, I mean, like, they've really done it in a way where...
You chose poorly.
I'll talk about it in a second, right now. I don't want to talk over cutscenes too much.
Sonya! Breathe, kiddo.
They took Mom. Sonya.
I'll get her. Can we find out where they've gone?
Tarmac B.
On it. Keep her safe.
Like, NetherRealm Studios hasn't turned the Mortal Kombat series into something different, into something unrecognizable. They haven't sold out to modern gaming, but they haven't... They're not scared to take a chance at the same time and do something new. So it's the perfect evolution of the series. Look at games like Space Invaders and Pac-Man. Where are those games? I'm not taking advantage of those games, but where are they? And even games that are still around to this day. I mean, like, look at the Rock and Roll that the Sonic the Hedgehog series has been on now for many, many years.
Is the red and white robot sector?
It is indeed. It is indeed. It is the one and only sector. Linkway, Cyber Linkway, it is indeed. He just looks a little bit different because he's working with Veronica, so he's got that kind of like white armour. He's red and white, which is the colours of my hometown actually. Anyway, that's Johnny Cage. That's not some like unknown character in that time, you know, and it's Sector attacking him. So I've got like series staples, you know, iconic characters in this game. It's not like it's just overrun by new characters.
Is your hometown Canada?
Oh god, no. My hometown is Cork. Although Canada has those colours as well.
You can play that game!
But it's Johnny Cage in his cinematic scene that you just would not see in any other Mortal Kombat game. But it's still Mortal Kombat. That's still Sector. That's still Sonya. That's still Johnny Cage.
You won't be online long enough for your friends to
And he's
make
still
it,
protecting
Pinhead.
Mortal Look at the many changes that the Call of Duty series has went through. Call of Duty started off as primarily like kind of like World War One, World War Two kind of era, like type war experience. I mean, like next minute you have like kind of X-Files you know, sci-fi type things, like where it's all about mind control, the numbers, Mason, what do they mean? Not bashing the game, because I actually really enjoyed the Black Ops series, but just look at how it's changed. And then the next minute you're in space and all this, like, you know, and then they say, okay, we're going back to basics now. It's okay, calm down, calm down, you know. But like Mortal Kombat has never needed to do that. Like Mortal Kombat has always been and always will be. And that is the saying I took from Mortal Kombat, or the Deception, or whatever the game was anyway. But Mortal Kombat has never lost its touch, is my point.
Cyrax defeated you when you were younger and stronger. As I am his superior, I am yours.
You're forgetting the time I beat Shinnok mano a mano. Oh wait, you were dead when that happened.
Fight.
I think the best thing that NetherRealm Studios has actually done with the series is reboot it in a very efficient way, where it's not just a reboot in terms of the development of the game, but it actually ties in with the story of the game, which is something you really don't see in a reboot. Like the entire Mortal Kombat universe got rebooted when Raiden went back in time and changed things, changed the past. That's something you don't see very much with reboots. I think of all the reboots we've seen in movies, whether it's Halloween, It. Like you never have a case like where like one of the characters from It, you know, gets a vision and says, "Oh, we gotta go back in time. We gotta go back in time to make sure that It doesn't come back or something," you know, and then everything gets changed, and you know, everything you thought you knew about that series changed. That's what Ed Boon did with the Mortal Kombat series.
Go back to the 90s.
And I love
Who's
it.
next?
I'm next. Hollywood.
Classic Johnny Cage right there.
Shit. As if throwback me wasn't bad enough.
Oh, it gets bloody worse. Sonya and your little girl, they're gonna die. Right in front of you.
Classic Kano. And I love what they've done with post-game content, DLC. Now, some people love DLC, some people hate DLC. Some people are in the middle. I'm kind of in the middle with DLC. But overall, I like DLC. Overall. But I'm still in the middle, but I have to say, like, overall, I like DLC because back in the day, you bought a game. What you got is what you got, and you were stuck with it. I don't want to say stuck with it, but if you really enjoyed a game, if you really enjoyed the story, the characters, the modes of that game, that was it. And you said, okay, that was a great game. But with DLC, they can say, okay, you enjoyed the story. Well, here's more of it. You know, you enjoyed modes, but here's more modes. And that's why I like DLC, like when they can add in content to a game that you're already own. Hey, okay, money for it, yeah, but like you're getting something. I mean, it's not just forced on your throat. I mean, if you want it, it's there. If you don't want it, it doesn't have to be, you know. But I really like how NetherRealm Studios have approached DLC with Mortal Kombat 11. Like, they're not just focusing on line. You find that a lot in games nowadays.
No one threatens my family.
You know, and it's great to see because Mortal Kombat is heavily.
I miss the X-rays.
Got ourselves a full-on
They're in this game,
generation
man.
swap here.
Wait, no, let me pause. When it lets me pause, that is. There is X-rays in this game. They've just changed the name. They're now called Crushing No, sorry, fatal blows. So you got crushing blows and fatal blows. So they're just not called X-rays, but they're still in the game. It's more or less the same thing, really. It's more or less the same thing.
Don't think so. Between Ninja Mime and Lady Liberty, we've got all the leverage. We're leaving.
I know I meant I liked it when they were X-rays.
I know what you mean, yeah, but it's just namesake, really, isn't it, though, Aiden? Like, the overall mechanics remain the same. Like, they deal a lot of damage to your opponent, and you basically pick them when you want to use them. You know, for strategy purposes, like, and so the only thing that's really changed is the name, really. So they just went from X-rays to fatal blow. So you got Cabal.
Cabal, go get my lesser half.
And the base?
Taken care of.
So what's happening here is Kronika are trying to stop Johnny Cage, Sonya, and Burt Reynolds from interrupting Kronika from rewinding time. They're sending in as many allies as possible, including the Black Dragon, Lin Kuei, and anyone that she can get her hands on.
Cassie, don't!
What's funny is I just saw something there. You would actually think that. Actually, I'm going to actually make a prediction for the Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath story expansion. Sonya Blade is going to work with Kronika because you go back in time. Shang Tsung goes back in time along with Liu Kang to go back to Shang Tsung's island to get the Kronika's crown before gets it. So I'm actually going to make a prediction because what I was going to say is like Cassie Cage lost her mother Sonya, right? So you would kind of think that she'd kind of be in favor of rewinding time, you know, to get Sonya back. So I'm thinking that something will happen in the new story, where Cassie Cage joins forces with Kronika. Just a prediction that I'm throwing out there.
Let's go get them.
Anyone else hear that beeping?
You know, I actually read a comment there today. It said that most fighting games struggle to have like a quality story mode in their games, and Mortal Kombat 11 not only has a quality story mode, but it's getting an expansion to its story. It's so true, like it's so true, and this is why I love what the development studios are actually doing with Mortal Kombat 11. Is like, you know, not only they give you a full package with Mortal Kombat 11 as it is. Not only did they add in new DLC, you know, like guest fighters and Mortal Kombat fighters, but they're not like giving you like an expansion to its story, you know, on top of fighters. And I mean, you can go online with those fighters as well, but it's just great to see that the focus is on the story, which is what you don't see enough of these days. Comes Raiden back from the Elder Gods.
Too late.
Well,
You're back in the nick of time.
Scorpion is back.
Now that's what I call a miracle.
Yeah, Raiden. Thanks.
Grandmaster Hasashi, I humbly request the Shirai Ryu's hospitality. My Sky Temple has been compromised. There is no safer place for us to gather.
Lord Raiden, welcome to the Fire Garden.
Do you know what's really interesting? Remember the very first trailer we saw of Mortal Kombat 11? It had Raiden fighting Scorpion. Very profound, kind of like, message. You know what I mean? Like the first thing we see when we see Mortal Kombat 11 is these two fighters battling it out to the death. Raiden and Scorpion. Like, why particularly Raiden and Scorpion? You would think like if it didn't mean anything, they'd just have Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. Like they kind of always do. So why put Raiden up against Scorpion? And also, remember, Scorpion is on the front cover of the game. And also, with the Collector's Edition, you get a massive Scorpion head. So like, and if you look at the story of Mortal Kombat 11, I'm trying to think back now, to basically what happened is, Quan Chi was the only person that could bring back the Revenants. Particularly bring back Liu Kang and Kung Lao from the clutches of Quan Chi's Netherrealm evil, basically. And that means a lot to Raiden, because, you know, Liu Kang and Kung Lao were like sons to him, and he felt guilty for their death. So, like, Quan Chi's life meant a lot to Raiden, because he needed to be alive to reverse the curse, so to speak, that Liu Kang and Kung Lao were under. Because of Scorpion's
Sony
vengeance.
censored Kirby from Fortnite.
What? Chad, what do you mean Sony censored Kirby? I can't even keep up with some of these random comments anymore, man. What? Okay, there's three different, like, Sony being PlayStation, Kirby being Nintendo, and Fortnite being Epic Games. What the hell is going on with that? Nonetheless, anyway, Chad, welcome to Green-HillGaming. As you may know by now, my YouTube channel will be switching between two games. This game right here, Mortal Kombat 11 and Streets of Rage 4. And of course, in this live stream, I am playing Mortal Kombat 11 and progressing the story. And I just noticed something there about Scorpion and Scorpion and Raiden, which I will finish off in a second. But what's happening with that? Sony censoring Kirby from Fortnite. I don't get that. I think censoring Kirby from Fortnite. That is just, I can't get my head around that one. But anyway, so because
No
of Scorpion...
joke, Kirby had a cameo appearance in the newest Fortnite trailer.
Hardly. Well, it is their intellectual property. So, like, it's important to understand, like, when we hear this kind of stuff, it's not like Shigeru Miyamoto or the Nintendo president or somebody like that's very recognizable that Nintendo has done this, or if it was Microsoft or Sony for that matter. It's basically the lawyers, like basically Nintendo's lawyers, their legal team basically have come along and said, okay, Nintendo, your intellectual property has been used on a game that didn't get permission, blah blah blah, and they go on to basically tell them that, and there's
Kirby didn't pay his taxes.
He didn't pay his taxes. That's one way to look at it. So anyway, I was basically pointing out, like, do you know the way, like, the very first trailer for Mortal Kombat 11 had Scorpion battling Raiden, right? And you know how Scorpion is on the front of the Mortal Kombat 11 box, and how the collector's edition comes with a massive Scorpion head. So you think like that Scorpion and Raiden are like these main characters of Mortal Kombat 11. You think they'd have a major part in the story, considering that in Mortal Kombat X, Scorpion's vengeance got the better of him.
And people hated the rap music.
That too. Scorpion's vengeance led to him killing Quan Chi, because he found out that Quan Chi was actually responsible for killing his family and clan. So he kills Quan Chi. Raiden is like, you fool, why did you do this? You kill Quan Chi. Quan Chi is the only hope for restoring Liu Kang and Kung Lao's mortality, you fool, you know? And you would think that was the reason why you saw these two fighters battling in the trailer, and you would think they'd have a very important role in the movie. As you can see, I'm gonna text me buddy while I wait for the stream to unbuffer.
Johnny back?
I think we're back in business. So where was I? Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so like Kronika was balancing light and darkness. So the light would be the likes of Raiden, the likes of Liu Kang, you know, the protector of Earthrealm, the champion of Earthrealm, so that was the light. Then the darkness would be like Shinnok, and then Quan Chi, like, you know, following the likes of that, and Goro and Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung, all of that. So there was balance. There was Outworld, it was Earthrealm, and they were at balance. So by Raiden basically just cutting the head off Shinnok and saying, okay, you don't exist anymore. There is no Shinnok. By doing that.
Did you like the movie? Ed Boon's wet dream emoji rolling on the floor laughing.
Did you like it? I believe it or not, Chad, I still haven't seen it. But I am going to see that movie tomorrow. I'm going to download it tomorrow and I'm going to watch it. I've been saying that for about a month now, but I will do. I'm telling you, it's routine. This lockdown routine. Like, everything is just going by a routine, you know what I mean? So I have to fit that into my routine. Once I fit that into my routine, we'll be laughing. So yeah, so Kronika, so you can understand what Kronika is doing basically. Like, she wants to restart time and fix things. Like, Raiden has broken her time. You can't argue with it. She's the keeper of time. Whatever is going on in Raiden's life right now, whatever is going on in is that Jax? Oh, this younger Jax. I forgot he was actually in the fucking thing. So whatever is going on in their lives, it doesn't matter. Like, Kronika is the keeper of time, and Raiden broke the time. So, you know, I'm on Kronika's side.
Lord Raiden. Gather Earthrealm's forces, but that effort will be for naught if Kotal Khan's armies cannot join us. Cetrion informed me that Shao Kahn has captured Kotal Khan. We must spare no effort to free him.
Kung Lao and I will go. We will rendezvous with Princess Kitana.
Thank you both. May the Elder Gods protect...
No, Raiden. There is no Elder Gods.
May you return victorious.
But you know what I really do hope, though? I have to pause it for a second. You know the way Liu Kang is now called the Fire God Raiden, and he is the protector of Earthrealm, and he's the keeper of time. And Raiden looks like to be just immortal. I want NetherRealm Studios and Ed Boon to keep that. Keep it. Make that part of the Mortal Kombat mythology. You know how can I say it? You know how you know how Sub-Zero is now Sub-Zero, and there is no other Sub-Zero. But even though the original Mortal Kombat, I just started off by saying this. You know how the original Mortal Kombat included Sub-Zero, but then in the story he gets killed by Scorpion. So in Mortal Kombat 2 and every other Mortal Kombat game after Mortal Kombat 2, you play as Sub-Zero's younger brother. And the original Sub-Zero, the older brother, becomes Noob Saibot. And that's it. That's been the case for over 25 years. Okay? That hasn't been changed. So what I want going forward in a Mortal Kombat series is that to be made canon. Liu Kang, he's now a god. He's the protector of Earthrealm, and Raiden becomes immortal. I meant to say a-mortal, not immortal, a-mortal. Keep it that way, because I actually loved the ending to Mortal Kombat X. One of the best endings to any Mortal Kombat story. Just hands down loved it. I mean, seeing Liu Kang and Kitana lead the NetherRealm was just fantastic. And to see Raiden coming to them and saying, hey, ain't gonna take our shit anymore. we're bringing the fight to ye. Raiden saying this to his former allies. I was like, this is fantastic. Make Liu Kang the bad guy. Yeah, this is great. You know, but they kind of went back and kind of made him the good guy at the end of the story. But that's okay if they keep him like that. If they actually keep him as the protector of Earth Realm. Make a canon going forward, is all I ask.
But I am not persuaded.
Queen Shiva, haven't your people fared better under Kotal Khan than Shao Kahn?
In some ways. But we can only guess which Khan will prevail in this struggle. We gain no advantage choosing sides now.
Princess!
Liu Kang, why are you here?
Kotal Khan has been captured by the Tarkatans. We must act quickly, before he is executed.
My people will not rally to a Khan held in chains.
We have Earthrealm's support, Your Highness. With yours, we can guarantee victory.
There is no path to victory without the Tarkatans. If they can be swayed to Kotal Khan, it would be to our advantage to join him.
I will return, Queen Shiva, with the Tarkatans at my side. Together we will march on Shao Kahn.
There, look at him. Look at him. Do you think that Shao Kahn will be captured like that so easily? Nah. Shao Kahn would have every single one of those Tarkatans slaughtered. Kotal Khan, he can't even tie shoelaces. Let alone being invited, being captured. That's it. As you know, I'm a huge fan of Shao Kahn, so I'm obviously biased to him.
What is it about Jade's blood that intrigues you, Scarlet?
Indian blood is most sweet, Your Excellency. It is also a rare commodity.
Where are they taking him?
To the Colosseum, no doubt.
Then we attack now.
We'll never sway Baraka to Kotal's side by taking the offensive. We must turn Baraka first, then attack Shao Kahn together.
The Tarkatans won't grant an audience. Their instinct will be to attack.
Not to mention Jade. At the first sign of trouble, they could kill her.
I have an idea.
As I'm just thinking there, I'm just going back to the very beginning of this live stream when I was reading the description of Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. It says that you have to kind of like, what does it say now again? Like you have to decide like who you trust and stuff. I hope, really, really hope that there's some sort of like decision making. There's a decision making mechanic in Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. You know, something like Mass Effect type thing, or even like Until Dawn, kind of like Life is Strange kind of a thing. Like, whereas not to that extent, because obviously it's Mortal Kombat. Like, in, you know, the story, it's going to have to be somewhat kind of linear, like, you know, in terms of like. But I just like hope there's a part in it like where you kind of get to choose something at least anyway, like. But yeah. Hopefully.
Who is in charge here?
Almost done. Then time to feast. Princess Kitana.
For Shao Kahn. We wish to join his fight against Kotal.
All those years, the Khan's high and mighty daughter, now brought low by common soldiers. Have you learned, finally, that you're no better than the rest of us?
She is for Shao Kahn. We demand to see Baraka.
You won't be seeing anyone. Liu Kang.
Yeah, but how long do they disguise it?
You betrayed your
I'm
father,
back.
Kitana.
I was Shao Kahn's
Welcome
daughter
back, Chad.
from Conquest. He stole Adynia from its rightful ruler, the father I never knew.
Because your people and your bloodline were weak.
Do you know, I think one of the most
Fight!
interesting things that NetherRealm Studios could do with the aftermath of the aftermath. Like at the end of the Mortal Kombat 11 aftermath story, with this new timeline, is actually bring back Adynia as like the dominant realm, because like Outworld was nothing more than a wasteland. You know, but over the years, like Shao Kahn continued to dominate, conquer other realms, and merge with Outworld, and eventually Outworld became this kind of like massive empire. But it wasn't always like that, you know. Adynia was a massive realm. So there's definitely the potential of really getting to see Adynia in its full glory, basically. And probably with the next Mortal Kombat one.
I'm doing some shopping.
You're doing some shopping. Nice, man. What are you getting? I wasn't even doing special attacks there. I was doing too much talking. What's our special moves again? I haven't played much of a katana actually in this game. The important move is the fan toss, obviously. Cool.
There is more to power than conquest, Scarlet.
I'm halfway through
As
the story.
requested, 0 casualties.
Jade, are you all right? We must find Baraka quickly to save Kotal.
Baraka won't join us. Kotal's hate for the Tarkatans runs too deep. If I hadn't stopped him, Kotal would have executed them all.
Yes! Kotal has made his intentions plain.
No joke, I just bought the last copy of Skyrim again.
What?
Why, Todd Howard?
Really?
Emoji weary face.
Baraka,
I thought you had Skyrim. Did you not have Skyrim already?
please listen. No more Tarkatans need to die.
Kotal Khan threatens all Tarkatans. In the new era, Shao Kahn will rule.
Fight!
Veronica promising Baraka and Shao Kahn. All these promises in the new era.
I had the digital version.
Oh, okay. So you wanted the physical version.
I will execute you.
I also got the last copy of Metro Redux Collection.
Oh, nice. I actually forgot about that game, to be honest.
Hear me, Baraka. I speak truth. Jade, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, stand down!
Gut, nar Kombat Traka! Speak. You've earned the chance.
Shao Kahn has pitted Outworld's peoples against one another for millennia. And for what? The honor of dying in his wars? We must fight for each other, Baraka, not with each other.
Kotal wants us dead. He said as much to my face.
Aid us, and I'll make sure you sit at Kotal's table. Which do you prefer, Baraka? To be Shao Kahn's slave, or Kotal Khan's trusted
Both
ally?
full games and DLC on a card.
Oh, it's fantastic. Like when you see companies doing that. The same too with CD Projekt Red with The Witcher 3. Funny that I actually brought The Witcher 3 into the live stream for a change, but nonetheless, it is great to see developers doing that in comparison to companies like Capcom who, you know, make their games available on digital only. So it is crazy.
No one has ever made Tarkatan Sadat.
And not just putting a game onto a cart, because it's not very hard to put a game like, let's say, Devil May Cry on a cart. It's a PS2 game, for Christ's sake. You know, there's no technical issues whatsoever putting that game onto a 2 seconds there. Onto a, gotta check something. Okay. Sorry. I was just having a bit of banter there earlier on my, not my, but the Animal Crossing Ireland, Animal Crossing New Horizons Ireland Facebook group page, and well, I don't know, one of the admins or one of the members wasn't too happy with what I was saying because it wasn't appropriate and it wasn't to do with it wasn't to do with Animal Crossing, that's for sure. Anyway, but I was just going to cheer somebody up. That's all. But story of my life, really.
Bioshock and Borderlands Collection will only have one game on an 8GB card. Both requires over 2GB download for the rest.
Jesus, that's crazy. But it's like what's crazy is that CD Projekt Red can fit a game like The Witcher 3 onto a cartridge with all its DLC and give you some like goodies along the way. You get a map or something and a couple of coins, and then Capcom can't even bring over a PS2 game onto a cartridge. Like that's insane. Like that's absolutely insane.
Offer. But these are your words, not his.
Help me save Kotal Khan. We'll ask him together.
He offers less. I'll slit his throat.
If he offers less, Baraka, I'll help you.
Katana, fantastic diplomat, which is why she eventually becomes the Empress of Outworld. And again, this is another thing as what I want. I want Katana to be the Empress of Outworld. Like what I want is I want a continuation. That's what I want. It's something, to be honest with you, ever since the end of Mortal Kombat Armageddon, there really hasn't been any like major like continuation, has it? Because it's just been a mess, but a good mess, a mess that I kind of like in a way. So like at the end of Mortal Kombat Armageddon, that's where Mortal Kombat Reboot kicks in. And Raiden goes back in time, goes back to the events of the first 3 Mortal Kombat tournaments. Everything gets changed. Mortal Kombat 11 comes along and it kind of like kind of kicks things into a new gear, right? And you have Liu Kang and Kung Lao being the bad guys. But then Mortal Kombat 11 comes along and says, okay, well, Liu Kang is good now again. Do you know? And then we're going into Aftermath where he's the Elder God. Or sorry, he's a god and protector of Earthrealm. I want continuation. I don't want something to happen for like 5 minutes in Mortal Kombat and then to be forgotten about in the next Mortal Kombat game, okay? And the perfect example that I gave earlier is the example I'm going to give now again, because it wouldn't be me without repeating myself now, would it? So, the original Mortal Kombat featured Sub-Zero. Okay, in the story, in the canon story, he gets killed by Scorpion. And in Mortal Kombat 2 and every other Mortal Kombat game that followed Mortal Kombat 2, Sub-Zero was actually a new Sub-Zero. It was not Sub-Zero's younger brother. And the original Sub-Zero, the older brother, becomes Noob Saibot. And he's been Noob Saibot for every other Mortal Kombat game after Mortal Kombat 3. So that's canon, and it stayed that way. It has stayed that way. And I'm sure there's other examples that I can give, but I'm just too tired to give them. So Kitana eventually becomes the Empress of Outworld. I want that to be the case. I don't want it to be a case of, oh, well, you know, she was Empress, but now Shao Kahn is Emperor again, or Kotal Kahn is Emperor again. No. What I want Kitana to be the Empress of Outworld, Liu Kang to be the protector of Earthrealm, Raiden just being this kind of like wise, kind of mortal. Maybe he dies in it, I don't know. But I want some kind of continuation going on here. You know, that's what I want. In the new era, a bit of continuation, please, Chronica.
But I've returned, and I will save you from his madness. Only I can rebuild the Empire. All realms will tremble before me. Outworld will again be conquerors, never the conqueror!
I didn't see this one coming. Is that Aaron Black? Oh, is it?
Where's this boldness been hiding, Kitana? Had you shown it before, I'd have had no need for Melina.
My sister was an unholy monster. Exactly like you, father.
My internet speeds have been crap, so I'm starting to get physical games. I don't mean to brag about what I got.
Ah, Jesus, no, you're not bragging, man. Jesus, I mean, I spend a lot of my streams bragging about games I've gotten, whether it's like the collector's edition of Mortal Kombat 11 that cost me a fortune, or whatever the case might be. You're not bragging, man. And yeah, man, the thing about like that's the thing. You can't beat physical, because physical, you don't need to rely on technology. You don't need to rely on your broadband speed. You have it physically. It's there in front of you at all times.
Cold or hunger.
So it's always better to have physical.
You would value the gift Shao Kahn gave you.
Fight!
So yeah, like, even though Mortal Kombat 11 has it's basically a new release when you think about it, and Mortal Kombat, like, I'm actually thinking of the next Mortal Kombat game already, and unfortunately it's going to be a long way off because of modern gaming, because of the way that modern gaming is. It takes a lot of time now to make games, and I mean, you can imagine what it's going to be like on PS5, Xbox One Series X. Like, I know, like, Sony will tell you like that it's much easier to develop games for, like, but it's still going to take a lot of time. You can't have groundbreaking specs, you know, and release games in 5 minutes, like. Kotal Khan throwing sand into Shao Kahn's face. That's how Kotal Khan fights, like. Jesus Christ. No, I was just saying there, like, the days where you can get like 3 Mortal Kombat games in the one generation, well gone. You look at the amount of Mortal Kombat games that are on Sega Mega Drive, for instance. I am pretty sure that there was Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, and possibly Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on Sega Mega Drive. In fact, I'll actually confirm that there now, actually. Don't know if the computer voice will stick. So I'm just going to type in Mortal Kombat games on. No, I'm saying Sega Mega Drive because that was one of my second console. Just as an example. So, okay, that's not exactly accurate. Jesus. Sorry, no. That doesn't matter. From what I know anyway, is definitely 3, you know. I'm going to say 3, okay? Definitely 3 Mortal Kombat games on Sega Mega Drive. No disputing that. I know that on PlayStation, there was Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat Mythologies.
I had a physical collection before, but it got stolen.
What, really? Of Mortal Kombat? Oh, no way. Oh, man. I hope whoever did that, man, is rotting away in the Netherrealm right now. That's awful, man. That's awful. So, on PlayStation, there was Mortal Kombat. There was Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Oh, sorry, no. There was actually Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which was an interesting game, actually, because it was... I suppose it was kind of like an early version of what you would call a remaster, and a remake, and a collection brought together. It's really hard to describe. Actually, no, it really is.
No, my old game collections.
All right. Oh, man, that's a pity, man. Again, man, I hope that they're actually rotting away in the Netherrealm right now. So Mortal Kombat Trilogy is an interesting game to describe, actually, because it's basically like Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 kind of combined together, like remastered and remade it all in its own kind of way, and it's like it's almost like packaged as a new game. But anyway, there was that on PlayStation 1. There was Mortal Kombat. There was Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. There was Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. There was Mortal Kombat Special Forces, actually, as well, and of course Mortal Kombat 4. So a lot of Mortal Kombat games on PlayStation. On PlayStation 2, you had Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, and Shaolin Monks. And then you can kind of see the trend in, like, because the thing is, on PS3 you got the reboot, and don't think there was supposed to be a PS3 version of Mortal Kombat X, but no, there is a PS3 version of Mortal Kombat X. Sorry, there is a PS3 version of Mortal Kombat X. So you have, or is there? Okay. There isn't, sorry. I was thinking of the reboot. So, yeah. You can see, like, as the generations went on, there was less Mortal Kombat games. And, of course, on PS4, in its entire life cycle, has got Mortal Kombat... Sorry, there was 2 Mortal Kombat games on PS4, which is good. You have Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11. Sorry. This was 2 is better than nothing. Not mentioning no names. Grand Theft Auto. But yeah, I reckon, and because of what Ed Boon has been saying about Mortal Kombat, like, he's kind of more or less saying he's taking a break for a while, so we're not going to be seeing a new mainline Mortal Kombat game for a long time. But I'm already thinking of Mortal Kombat 12, like the next Mortal Kombat game. I actually thought and hoped that Kotal Khan was dead here. The first time that I played the story, I was delighted with myself. I thought that was the moment he was dead, like, I thought he broke the trap and killed him.
Surrender, or face the consequences.
I just don't take Kotal Khan serious at all.
You're as feeble-minded as Jared.
King Jared, the father you murdered and stole me from.
I wanted Jared's wife, not his heir. I kept you only to appease your mother. Do not expect mercy this time.
Same goes for you, Shao Kahn.
Fight.
So yeah, I already have in my head the perfect Mortal Kombat 12. A Mortal Kombat game that moves forward. Because let's face it, you can't really move forward in Mortal Kombat X so much because you're basically retelling the events of Mortal Kombat. You kind of are in a way, like, when you think about it, like. In the new timeline. And with Mortal Kombat 11, you're basically going back, and you're going back, like, it's like time has been paused, and you're like, well, I wanted something kind of like, something, I don't know, like, I'm saying, like, if you look at the original games, it was the Mortal Kombat tournament. The first two games, anyway, were about the Mortal Kombat tournament. Then Mortal Kombat 3 was like, okay, Shao Kahn is this crazy conqueror who wants to invade and merge the Earth realm. Mortal Kombat 4 was like, okay, we gotta stop Shinnok from invading.
I'll not inherit your cruelty.
So there was always something happening, you know? And there was a continuation with the characters, stories. But everything has kind of been up in the air, really, ever since Mortal Kombat Armageddon. So just as Kitana goes to, she doesn't actually kill Shao Kahn, actually. She wounds him. I'm going into my talking mode here now. So I'd like to see Kitana as Empress of Outworld. That's different. And it's continuing, because Kitana has always been this kind of like, do you know, like, deep character. She's the quote-unquote daughter of Shao Kahn, even though she's really a stepdaughter of Shao Kahn. And really, like, she's always been kind of like next in line for being the Empress of Outworld anyway. So to see her on the throne would make sense, and I'd like to see that, because it's different. Different to see how how Outworld moves forward, you know, because Outworld has always been perceived as this kind of like enemy realm, and even with Mortal Kombat X, that kind of started to change a little bit, because Kotal Khan was a little bit more diplomatic, and of course you see that as well in Mortal Kombat 11. So that's a continuation that I want to see, but instead of having Kotal Khan, because fuck Kotal Khan, you know, have Kitana on the throne, and you know Liu Kang has been in it since the beginning along with Kitana, so put him as the protector of Earth realm. Just continue on more. There's no point in having this like story, this great saga, and then go forward like and just kind of like change it all and pretend it never happened, you know. That's what I kind of think that they did with Mortal Kombat 11 when it comes to Liu Kang and Kung Lao, at least anyway. It would have been nice if they kind of set up this kind of thing like where, okay, this is the Netherrealm, these are the new leaders of the Netherrealm, this is what's going to happen, you know. Again, a bit like how Noob Saibot is Noob Saibot. Like, I mean, Noob Saibot never came back from being Noob Saibot. Like, you know, that kind of a thing. Like, you know, that type of a continuation is what I'm hoping to see in the next Mortal Kombat game.
She did it. Of course she did.
Consistency. That's what I'm looking for. Consistency. Now, she didn't kill Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn is wounded. I think so, no?
Do you feel anything?
Shao Kahn has crippled me, left me defenseless.
Not while I am by your side.
You would have me, even with my hardened heart?
I know your heart. It can change.
It is over, Kotal Khan. The throne is secure.
Thank you. Baraka, Shiva, I have not served your peoples well, yet still you aided me. I will not forget. We don't need charity. We will share in Outworld's rule. That is up to her now.
So, like, this is what I'm talking about. A huge decision has been made here, right? Kotal Khan, current Emperor of Outworld, has decided that Katana will be the Empress of Outworld. That's a huge decision. There's no point in, like, forgetting that, you know, going forward with the aftermath story, or going forward to the next Mortal Kombat game. I just think that would be kind of like really disappointing, you know?
The throne
Such
is
a
yours.
huge
You have united Outworld.
step forward, like in the Mortal
Kitana
Kombat
Khan.
universe.
She's now officially out of your league.
And like, it doesn't mean you can't play as Katana. It doesn't mean like, oh, this very important character, or you can't control her now because she's Emperor. So you were controlling Kotal Khan since Mortal Kombat X, and he's the Emperor of Outworld. So why can't you control Katana? Like, it's not like you can't. It's not like Katana can't be in the game anymore because she's the Emperor of Outworld, Empress of Outworld. Doesn't mean you can't play as Liu Kang anymore because he's the Protector of Outworld. You were playing as Raiden since the beginning of Mortal Kombat, and he's a god, and he's the Protector of Outworld. So you can still have these classic characters. You can still bring in new characters, but you can just have a bit of consistency in the changes that you make in the story.
How Kota going to be Khan when everyone saw Kitana kill Shao Kahn? Emoji wide smile.
Oh, good. That's true. Katana is the person who got the job done, so to speak. So yeah. So Katana is now Empress of Outworld. That should remain going forward. I know this whole thing about the new era, and what that means is, well, nobody knows what that means until we get to the end of the Aftermath story. But like, I would like to think that something that happens in this story will get brought over through Mortal Kombat 12 or whatever they call it.
From this day on, may all our peoples fight together as one.
New era of Shang Tsung, emoji smirk.
New era of Shang Tsung.
Outworld is indeed hopeful, but the location of Kronika's keep remains a mystery. It is beyond the realms, and has proven to be beyond my sight.
Do you know of Charon, Raiden?
Charon, of course.
Who is Charon?
Master of the ancient ship of the dead. Sub-Zero and I met him during our time as revenants.
He travels in the space beyond realms, transporting damned souls to the nether realm.
If the keep lies there, Charon may know its location.
Would he help us?
It is possible, but I cannot be sure.
I urge you both to investigate.
We will leave immediately.
Locking down Outworld's army is huge. But still, I'd feel better if we had more manpower.
The Shaolin will join us. Liu Kang and Kung Lao travel now to aid the monks' preparations.
Good. I'll be leaving soon to go after Johnny and Sonya.
I'll go too.
We're both going. No. Raiden needs you for an intel op.
We need to get Sonya back.
Undoubtedly. But Kronika's behavior makes it clear that while mighty, she is not all-powerful. Otherwise, why would she attempt to steal Jinsei?
Think maybe she's still building strength?
A distinct probability.
Then what's her next move?
With the Dragon Grotto's Jinsei fountain sealed, there is no greater energy source of souls beneath Shang Tsung's island.
Then we better go check it out.
This is actually the main kind of focus of the Aftermath story, Shang Tsung's Island. They got to go back there to get the crown, because that's where her crown is apparently, or something to do with that anyway.
I regret that I cannot join you. I must keep vigil for signs of Kronika's further tampering with time.
We all have our duty.
I am told you defeated Shinnok, Cassandra Cage. You will defeat the likes of Kano, but proceed with caution. If either Johnny or Sonya die, you will cease to exist.
Why didn't Raiden destroy the island? MOG thinking face.
I know, I'll have unanswered questions.
My power to save you.
Fight Club. Yeah, it's interesting how they kind of like they didn't need to do this. You know what I mean? I wonder like how much of an input Ronda Rousey had in this, or you know how much of a Ronda Rousey fan, you know, NetherRealm Studios must have been like. But like, just because Ronda Rousey voices Sonya Blade doesn't mean she has to be put into this like Fight Club situation. You know, this MMA situation. You know, it's like, okay, like she's Ronda Rousey. Like, I don't watch MMA. I have no interest in MMA. But I know that she's a massive success in MMA. She's a huge name in MMA. I know that much about her. But like, okay, like that's MMA. Like, but like doesn't mean that.
That sounds like bigot to Johnny. MOG rolling on the floor laughing.
I just like, boy, like. I don't get. I just don't understand why Ronda Rousey is voicing, you know, Sonya Blade. Like, she's not the only Sonya Blade fan. Like, I don't understand the logic as to why Ronda Rousey is voicing Sonya Blade, other than the fact that she's a huge fan of Sonya Blade, and she could always relate to Sonya Blade. But that still doesn't explain why she's voicing her. Like, I mean, there's millions of Sonya Blade fans around the world.
Why couldn't they get Jean-Claude Van Damme for Johnny? He's broke.
I know, yeah. Give him a bit of money, for God's sake, you know. Like, Ronda Rousey doesn't need the money, like, you know. For fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme could do with the money, you know. That's very true, actually. That's funny. No, but the point is, by the way, I'm going to wrap up the live stream when we go into the first fight there, and then we resume this chapter on the next Mortal Kombat 11 live stream. But what I'm basically trying to get at here, for being a voice actor, where's our qualifications? I just don't like this kind of idea of, hi, look at me, I'm Ronda Rousey, I'm so popular, I'm so famous, I happen to be a Sonya Blade fan, put me in the game. I don't understand, and I don't agree with that mentality. There's millions of Sonya Blade fans around the world that could probably do a damn better job voicing Sonya Blade than Ronda Rousey does. Oh, but sure, look, they're not famous, they're not important, they're not popular. I mean, and not just like fans of Sonya Blade, but there's plenty of hard-working voice actors out there trying to get a break, you know. And they could do a fair better job. But just this mentality of like, we'll get Ronda Rousey in. We'll get Ronda Rousey in to play Sonya. It's obviously just kind of like, it's just, oh, we get a big name in, we'll get a bit of interest, whatever. I'm not going to bang on about it too much, but I just want, well, that's bad enough, like, but when you see her put into like a Fight Club situation like this, it's like, they're obviously going to make her into Ronda Rousey. Like, Sonya Blade is not Ronda Rousey. That's my point.
True talk, Johnny.
It's true though, isn't it? Like, it's just, yeah, thank you, Chad, for that, you know? Plenty of hard-working voice actors out there that would love the opportunity to play Sonya Blade, but because they're not famous and popular like Ronda Rousey is, they have to fucking play fucking second fiddle to her. And then, like, NetherRealm Studios go along and, like, throw her into this Fight Club situation.
There's no fun in a fair fight.
So Sonya's the skank who burns me?
She more than burns you, Cabal. She goes black ops on your ass. Shocks, knives, the bloody works. Patched you back together myself. Well, most of you.
She's dead.
Miss Law and Order really does that to him? Nah. But now he's motivated.
Hope you're ready for some
Like, what if, so, you know, I'm like a dog with a bone now with this. What if, the Pope, yeah, you heard me correctly. What if the Pope, you know, woke up tomorrow morning and said to himself, I am a huge fan of Raiden in Mortal Kombat. I love Raiden. And he goes onto his computer and he tweets NetherRealm Studios. Big up Raiden. I love myself some Raiden. Like, with Ed Boon and NetherRealm Studios, bring the Pope over to NetherRealm Studios and have him voice Raiden in the next Mortal Kombat game. Because he's religious. He's the Pope of a religion. So, it makes sense. We're going to put him into a situation where he's Raiden.
That would be hilarious.
But like, it is hilarious, but I'm actually making a genuine point at the same time. Like, it is hilarious, but it's equally hilarious that you have Ronda Rousey voicing Sonya Blade because she's in MMA, so she can relate to Sonya Blade. Do you know? The Pope is religious, so, and he worships a god. So you can actually kind of say then that, oh, well, it would make sense to have the Pope voice a god who worships elder gods. So, you know, same logic. But of course that wouldn't happen, would it? So why is Ronda Rousey playing Sonya Blade? And why isn't the Pope voicing Raiden? It's a genuine point, like. It really is. Or just something even more kind of like crazy. Like, well, just, you know, for the sake of popularity and fame, like, just, why not have like fucking, I don't know.
Alex Jones voice Shao Kahn, emoji wide smile.
Exactly, this big name who likes to shout and roar at people, you know, can voice Shao Kahn. It's true, like.
preemptive vengeance.
What the hell are you talking about, Cabal?
You. Torturing me to get dirt on the Black Dragon.
Fight!
Okay, and we'll resume that fight in the next live stream of Mortal Kombat 11, where I will be continuing this amazing story to hype myself up for the extended story that will be included with the brand new Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath DLC story that will be releasing on May 26th. I can't believe how soon it's actually releasing as well. Of course, that DLC will include not just an expanded story, but it will include 3 brand new fighters, one of them being Robocop, the other 2 being Fujin and Shiva. Also, new stages, including stage fatalities and friendships, are back as well. And if you pre-order, you get some cool skins. And I know it sounds like I'm working for NetherRealm Studios, but I always like to explain things to people who may not know those things. So that's the crack there now. And I still can't wrap my head around why Sonya Blade is voiced by Ronda Rousey. It just makes no sense, other than the fact that she's a big name and she's famous and she just wanted to get a big name in. But like, what I can't understand is that would have cost NetherRealm Studios a lot of money. Like, it's stupid when you think of it from that point of view. Like, I know Warner Brothers are absolutely loaded, and they're the ones who probably more than likely paid for it, to be honest, but still, like, you know, I'm sure, like, some kind of, like, voice actor who's just looking for a break, you know, like a young voice actor looking for a break, looking to get in there, like, you know, wouldn't mind taking fucking a lower amount of money just to be in a game like Mortal Kombat 11, and they could probably have far more skills than Ronda Rousey has. I mean, Ronda Rousey is known for fighting. you know, whether it's real fighting in MMA or whether it's wrestling in sports entertainment. Like, she's known for fighting. She's known for, like, you know, that's all she's known for, really. And losing. And reacting to it very badly. I thought I was a fucking sore loser. I haven't reached her level.
Caitlyn Jenner for Sindel.
Exactly. Put throw in there. No, fucking Caitlyn Jenner for Last of Us 2, Chad. That's Last of Us 2 right there, man. But yes, I could talk about this now forever. But but I'm really hyped though for Aftermath. This is something that's really kind of unheard of. Actually, it really is actually unheard of to actually expand any game's story. I'm just trying to think the last time that I had an opportunity to actually
Emoji
expand.
rolling on the floor laughing.
But I actually can't think of a game with a big story that's actually been expanded. I'm desperately trying to think. Certainly won't find it in Grand Theft Auto. No, I can't think of a game. From the top of my head, no, I can't think. Well, I can't think of games. No, no that they come to mind. But it's not really so much expanding the story. It was more of a prequel. I was thinking of the Breath of the Wild DLC, but that was more of a prequel. And even the story DLC of Xenoblade Chronicles is also DLC as prequel as well. But something that you don't really see that kind of level of DLC a whole lot in games. Like you don't see an expansion to the Red Dead Redemption 2 story, the God of War story. You don't see an expansion to Halo story campaign. You don't see I know like Breath of the Wild, but that was prequel. That was like a prequel story. But you just don't see that. So I really am hyped. I really, when I get to the end of this story now in Mortal Kombat 11, like I'm just going to be so hyped to know like that in just a couple of weeks' time, that story will be continued, extended, and bringing back Shang Tsung and putting him into the focus of the story as well. It's going to be really interesting. But yeah, I'm hyped for it. I really am hyped for it. So nonetheless, that is the end of the live stream. I will be playing Streets of Rage 4 in my next live stream because, as you should know by now, my YouTube channel will be switching between two games. This game right here, Mortal Kombat 11, and Streets of Rage 4, which I will be streaming in the next live stream of Green-HillGaming. So thank you to all who watched. As always, I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Appreciate the support, and I will see you next time.